Welcome to the Keys to Home Ownership, unlocking answers to your real estate question. I'm Perrin Duval, a realtor here in Hampton Roads, Virginia, and my goal in this video series is to answer all of your questions pertaining to real estate so you can make the most informed decision when it comes to your buying and selling needs. If you have a question you would like answered, please leave it in the comments below, or you can call me, text me, DM me, any way you want to get in contact with me, and I'll make sure it gets answered. So let's not waste any time and jump in to this month's question. This month's question is, what is the typical timeline of buying or selling a home? This is a great question because there are a couple factors that play into this. Let's start with if the house is vacant. So if the house is vacant, a seller is looking for as quick of a close as possible. That usually means if you are getting financing as the buyer, that you can close within 30 days. Sometimes though, if you have already been through underwriting, you can close in as little as 14 days. And if you are a cash buyer, 14 days is typically what we see for that timeline as well. A seller does not want their house just to sit there and while they pay mortgage and insurance on it, they want it gone as quick as possible. But if the house is occupied and we are in a multiple offer situation, we want to do whatever the seller needs. So I will ask the listing agent what is the most ideal timeline for the seller to close, and they will get back to me usually with a specific date or a time range, and we want to do whatever we can to make that work in our situation. Sometimes the seller may need to stay in the house and they may ask for a rent back period from the buyers. In this case, if we are in multiple offers, one of the tactics that we can use is to let them stay there rent free. And if we are not up against multiple offers, but they still need that rent back, we will come up with a price per night that both the buyer and the seller agree upon. And we will also negotiate a end period for that rent back agreement. So we'll put a hard date on the end of that rent back agreement. So those are the two options, if the house is occupied and if the house is vacant. Again, with vacant, we want as quick of a close as possible. And with occupied, we want to do whatever the seller needs us to do because that is how you're going to get this house in a multiple offer situation. So hopefully that gives you some insight. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next month on the Keys to Home Ownership, unlocking answers to your real estate questions.